So on the whiteboard, you already answered this question, but here, if you plot the 2 points, you can work backwards to figure out what your y-intercept is. We found that you're working backwards, the y-intercept is 10. You could use the table to work backwards to get your y-intercept is 10, but that's not going to work if your table's too big. You can then also find the slope either using the graph or the table. Like I said, Siobhan and Simon use just these two numbers to figure out the slope for, right? It's not Simon, Evan Simon. Okay. 20 over 40, or sorry, 20 to 40 is a jump of 4. 5 and 2 is a jump of, or 5 and 7 is a jump of 2. So 4 over 2 is 2. You could have also used the graph to figure out the slope. Take any 2 points and find this. Well, right here, the original, you rise 4, run 2, 4 over 2. And then you end up with the equation y equals 2x plus 10. We know that a graph is great, a table is great, but in reality, those things are going to be inaccurate or inefficient. If I give you numbers like 80 and 70, you don't want to have to draw a massive table, a graph, or a massive table. So what we're learning is our algebra. Just like in the one before, instead of giving you a point and a slope, I'm giving you 2 points. It says Mary ride 5 rides for 20 bucks. What's my first coordinate? 5 and 20. The second one, that's right. Remember, don't get fooled by the sentence. The sentence says $24 for 7 rides. But you remember, time, money. Think of that all the time. That's going to help you make your coordinates. So 7 rides is your time. Your money is $24. Okay? Let's figure out the slope without a big long table. Let's just do the quick table. Here are my 2 points. 5 and 20, 7 and 24. Practice my slope, delta y over delta x. Write this down. How much do you jump from 20 to 24? And from 5 to 7? 2. M is 4 over 2, 2 over 1, or just 2. So we figure out the slope. Once you do that thing, the rest of the question is exactly like what we just did. The only difference between these questions and the ones that you just did, you have to calculate the slope first. Once you find the slope, everything else is exactly the same. The equation is y equals 2x plus b. But I don't know what the b is. How did I figure out the b from the last question? Right. Where are you getting the 20 and the 5? That's right. We take the coordinate and plug it in, just like we did in the whole other worksheet. Except we've got 2 coordinates there. Does it matter which one we plug in? No. If I look at the graph, I could go from 520 and work backwards to the y-intercept. If I started at 7 and 24, I would still be following the same path to get to the same thing. So it doesn't matter which coordinate you put in. But we now know that this is 20 equals 2 times 5 plus B. And this math is exactly the same as what we just did. 2 times 5 is? How do I get B by itself? Minus 10. So it equals 10. I just figured out up here, the slope was 2. The math, I did the math to figure out that the y-intercept is 10. So therefore my equation is y equals. Very good. Do you agree with me that this question is essentially the same as the one we did this morning, except for the first step? You just find the slope, and then you do everything else the same. Let's flip over to the back. On the back, I'm showing you how to organize your solution. So when you go to do your worksheet, you can mimic what we have here. Helps you organize your solution. Says a large pizza with 4 toppings costs $20. Costs $29 for 7 toppings. Remember, we can't just divide here. We can't go off and say, hey, it's $20, 4 toppings, that's $5 a topping. That's not true. Because 5 times 7 is 35. It's not $5 per topping. In that $20, there's a flat rate. So we can't divide. You done? All right, give me the first coordinate from the first point. 4 and 20. Very nice. Be careful when you write the second point. Very nice. Good job, Landon. Because he remembered that time comes first. In this case, we're saying time is toppings. And money comes second. How do I find the slope? We got to do a table. 4 and 20, 7 and 29. Perfect. Mila tells me the slope is 9 over 3. Can that reduce?
Yeah.
To what? 3 over 1? Or we could just say 3. Excellent. Now the question becomes exactly like we've done before. You know most of the equation. You know y equals 3x plus something. I'm going to take one of these points and plug it in. Which one do you want to put in? You want to do the 21, this one? 4 and 20, the numbers are smaller. Sure. So that means you're going to go 20 equals 3 times 4 plus B. I'm going to give you a second to get ahead of me. So this is going to be 20 equals 12 plus B. Subtract both sides by 12. 8 equals B. So that means there's $8 for a pizza. And it's $3 per topping. Over on the whiteboard here, I have the exact same equation, but I'm going to put in the 7 and the 29 just to prove to you that it didn't matter which one I picked. We picked the 4 and the 20. I think that was a great choice. I'm going to pick this 29 equals 3 times 7 plus b. 29 equals 21 plus b. Subtract 21, subtract 21. Got the same answer. B is 8. So it doesn't matter which one I do, I'm going to get the right answer. All right. I now have my M and my B. What's my equation? That's right. So y equals 3x plus 8. This asks you, how many toppings can you get for $14? Is this your x value or your y value? X is the number of toppings. That's right. Oh, okay, fair enough. The 14 here is the y. We've been doing this algebra all year. How do I get x by itself? Subtract 8. And again, it matches the logic. $14, $8 goes towards the cost of the pizza. How much are you left with? 6. It's $3 a topping. So what do I gotta do? Divide by 3. $6, $3 a topping. How much are you left with? That's right. So therefore, you can get 2 toppings for $14. This is where you're going to need the algebra. The math is not easy. It's too difficult to do in our head. We have decimals, so we need the algebra. My cell phone plan charges me $22 for 10 minutes of calling. Tell me what coordinate that is. Very nice. Siobhan remembers time and money. The second bit of information tells me 16 minutes equals $24. What coordinate's that? 16 and 24.00, whatever. All right. How am I going to find the slope? Table. Okay, again, this is not something I can figure out just in my head. I've got to use the algebra. How much of a jump from $22.50 to $24? $150. Good. Okay, and how many minutes? 6 minutes. No, that's $1.50 for 6 minutes. Let's figure out how much it is a minute. Do the division. $1.50 divided by 6. 0.25. What does that mean? 25 cents a minute. Brilliant. Is that something you could have figured out in your head? No. This is where the algebra comes in. Okay? So now we're going to do the equation just like we did before. We know y equals 0.25x plus b. I need to substitute a point. Which one might be easier in this one? Yeah, I think the 24 one would be easier as well. Let's sub that in. So this would be 24 equals 0.25 times, what was it, 16 minutes. Might need my calculator for this. Oh, it's 4? That's good. 0.25 times 16 is 4. Push clear. 0.25 times 16. Phones are all calculators. They're terrible calculators. They don't clear properly. I've been telling you that all year.
No, I was testing a different button.
I know. My son sold my calculator last night, so I was trying to use my phone. I was making mistakes all the time. Okay? Stole. He had a calculus exam yesterday, so he stole my calculator. So what's the flat rate for this cell phone plan? 20 bucks. So now we have y equals 0.25x plus 20. Use that to figure out how many minutes. I've got 25 bucks. Where's the 25 go? Where the x is? What does x represent? Nope. 25 is the y. That's right. Okay, the cost is your y. Your minutes is your x. So 25 equals 0.25x plus 20. You guys know how to finish these. All right, then you've got the back of that worksheet for homework. You'll be handing it in tomorrow. Some of you have already done the back sheet. A whole bunch of people owe me time. So you're doing some of those?
Yeah, just give us next.
Oh, give it to you. Okay. So what I'm thinking is if tomorrow we finish this in the morning and then he tries to do the test, he can use this to do his test. That's not like a plan. He could be able to, like if he can do this. Let's try it. All right, Sid, Maddie, Ashton, Danny, Mila, Carly. Tim. Oh. You don't do it the right way. You got to do that. Using it as and do all this stuff. And I can look at it and say, I know what she's doing. I still think he did well. I do. You know, we don't like 79. I don't like 79.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that was that song. I just said the rhythm was the same way.
If not,
Hello. Jasper. His name's Jasper. So mean,